Okay.
So, good morning, Rachel. You're going to be
Good
giving us
morning.
loads of tips, tricks, and hacks on how we should be using our phone when we're prospecting, marketing, and bringing customers into our business and then doing business with them. So, tell us, how do you do it?
So, for example, if I've got a lead that comes in and they've given me their email address, their mobile number, and their name, the first thing I'm going to do is click on their email. So, what I have on my mobile phone are all systems where I can click into the clipboard of my mobile phone, and every one of my frequently asked questions and campaign information is all listed. So, for example, I'll click on their email address. I'll have a title line, RF face sculpt offer. Straight away in my clipboard, bang it off. It's already saved in there. Come to the content, and I will have in my clipboard, I will click the clipboard icon, and I will have first email as a heading. I'll press send, wax off the first email. So, Kim, for you, what I would suggest with what you were doing was to save time. We could have a first stage post in your clipboard and then all the content. Then you could have midway post, where all these different leads or different people or prospects are at different stages of the journey of signing up. Then you could have a welcome to the team post. So you've pre-written all this content. Literally, all you do is just firm press and hold it for a moment, and it saves it to your clipboard. Literally, go to your clipboard in your phone and save the post. You pin it. So every time I get a client, it's like free consultation link. Then I've got my first WhatsApp post. So I just scroll to the first one, click it off, press it, and off it goes, send. So this will save you so much time. If you have your key messages that you want to send, they can all be preset in your clipboard. I've got my hashtags, I've got my company's house numbers, I've got all sorts in there. So Mel, as well, with yourself, you don't want to do spam, you want to do original content. So if you cold message everyone on LinkedIn the same kind of message, that's going to flag you up as spam. So you're not going to get anywhere, even if it wasn't a directly cold call anyway. But what you could have in your clipboard are your frequently asked questions. So online, for example, I can scroll down and I have a heading saying, what is it? So I'll post a Facebook post and someone will say, what's cavitation? Straight away reply in my inbox, bang off the response. I pre-typed that out, copied it and saved it and pinned it. And it's basically, hi, thanks for your inquiry, cavitation ultrasounds, and a full explanation then. And it takes seconds. The second they've responded, your fortune is in your follower, you literally have whacked off that information to them straight away. But going back to a campaign, I sometimes have your health questionnaire, Kim. What I would have is in your screenshots, an album with all your marketing material, everything you want to add to a post. The stages, like the first stage post, you would have an attachment that shows photos of something else. For example, for me, I would have before and after photos of the offer that I'm showing them. So if it's bellies, I'll create an album in my camera with all the photos that I want to send and attach to an email. So I get the lead, click on email, go to clipboard, put the title of the email, the offer that I'm responding to, go down, back into clipboard, get the body of the article, attach, go straight to the your gallery with your album with all your relevant marketing information, all for my before and after photos. So I just select all of them, bang, off it goes. Then I go straight to text. And then I pin to the top of my inbox people I want to follow up with. So it's time saving because it's all pinned there. And then, you know, once you've dealt with that, you can unpin it and it's gone. But every time you see someone at the top of your inbox, you're like, ah, right, she needs the welcome to our team message. Instead of writing it out each and every time, you've already got it all pre-stored. So you just flick it off to them. And it's so, for you as well, then, so time saving. You could be at dinner and you think, oh, so-and-so has just messaged. Okay, clipboard, thanks very much, send. It's gone. All the information you want to send that person is gone. If you need attachments, just attach, go to your albums, create an album with your information for each different thing that you offer. So you know if someone's responding on LinkedIn and saying, hi Mel, can you tell me what businesses you've collaborated with this year? You've already got it there. Boom, gone. 2 seconds, you're done. So on Facebook especially, you need to do about 3 posts a day. So you've got to be consistent. And you can actually schedule your posts in advance. I sometimes, on the end of the month, pre-schedule a month's worth of content on, you got Google My Business, or you got Facebook Business Suite, where you can literally just create a post. Now, if that post is already in your clipboard, all you do is post, there you are, mummy makeover treat, off you go. And then that posts that to you. You've got to select whether you want it to go to Instagram as well as Facebook. You can add it to your groups, you can add it to your pages, and all of them are selectable, and then it posts it to all of them. Another trick is you need to create reels and stories. So when you're creating your content, you won't just post about selling, you'll post about, oh, girls, what did you think of bloody J.K. Rowling and that trans activist conversation? You always got to intersperse your selling posts with a couple of, did you know, little facts and figures. Who knew that that was going to happen? Also, for your scheduling, you want to schedule stories. So you can get a photo of your health questionnaire, Kim, for example, and you can go into your Facebook, create, discard post, right? Create, and then it asks you whether you want to create a reel, a story, or a post. So your story would just be one photo of your health questionnaire. And then that would be on your timeline for 24 hours. So you're constantly then scheduling the next story for another day and just keep your content flowing. Because as people interact with your posts, even if they say, hi, that looks really interesting, the second you see that message from them, you go reply, straight into your key clipboard, and all the answers are there. All your frequently asked questions, look, they're guaranteed results. There you go, next. Schedule for later. Let's do it today, schedule. So, gone. Just did that. How long did that take? So if you had a lead come through, you literally would have everything pre-planned in your clipboard. You could see it and go, right, they need that letter. When you actually go into your clipboard as well, you can manage your clipboard. So you can then put little descriptions of what your posts are. So I've got free consultation post, first title line post, first email, first WhatsApp, first text. What is it? Explain cavitation, and all of these are headings, but you must pin your responses to your clipboard. See these pins on the side? Pin your replies to your clipboard so that whenever you need them, they're all there. They're all pre-stocked. I even do my national insurance number, my business address, my company's house number, my Wi-Fi code. You know, all these things that you can literally just fly off really quick. All your hashtags. Save everything in the clipboard. So even if you're on the go, you could be in a meeting and you get a notification. You think, oh, right, okay, respond, clipboard, hang it off to them, and it all goes.
Can you tell us then,
So
Rachel, how you manage a campaign? Because I know you work with somebody who gets you leads as well, and how you've now started managing that and converting that. And you've gone from 0 to super busy, haven't you?
yeah, definitely. So my marketing company will actually target people who are looking for what I want. So their knowledge is finding people who are already looking for what I kind of do. So if you've ever typed in facelift or look at my wrinkles or something like that, my marketing people will put my post in front of them. And then when they click learn more, they enter their email account, their mobile number, and I get their name. So immediately I go to my pinned messages and I've got my leads straight at the top. So I go into my leads, I select their email address, clipboard, subject, title line, content, there, off you go, attach. Then I go to my gallery, create a gallery for each campaign. So that one, select all those photos, attach, send it. So they then have that follow-up really fast. I then replicate and do a different post, and then I text them straight away. But I also save their mobile number with their name. So if we're going to go back to the leads, it's got Sandra St. Ives. I literally will contact her number and save her, Sandra St. Ives. So if she calls me, I know who she is, and it's less formal. So I then will ring them. You can have marketing companies, you could pay marketing companies to do all this for you. But I find I'm so authentic about my own brands that if I ring, I'm just myself, and people buy into people, so they relate to you. So quite a lot of people may not get the message or not be in, but everyone that I speak to, I usually convert. And then it's like, just come and meet me and tell me all your problems. Because once they're face to face and I can show them what I can do for them. And I also tell them that I've sent them an email with about 10 to 20 result photos for them to have a look at in their own time. So they literally learn more, enter their email, enter their name, enter their phone number. That immediately comes to me. I get a notification, you've got a lead. I go to my text inbox. Is pinned at the top, click on the lead, select her email address, put the title in, put the content in, select attach, get your gallery, get your album with that particular campaign's photos in, add them to the email, whack it off. Next thing you do, you go on their phone number, get their phone number, put their name in, and send them the first text. Hi, hun, this is the first text. Thanks for inquiring about my RFA sculpt on Facebook. I've just emailed you loads of results, and here's the link if you want to just book in and have a consultation and come and see me. If not, then I phone them. I'll phone them and I'll talk to them. And it's all that fortune in the follow-up. So as soon as you can do those few things and get them on the phone in a call, because they're interested in changing their body, they're a warm lead, as Cheryl said. It's not cold calling. They're already actively giving me their permission to contact them. So yeah, that's how I do it. Started purely from a memory point of view because I couldn't remember what I was doing. But now for time saving, if you preload your clipboard with all your stock replies, your frequently asked questions, your business details, etc., you could be at dinner, see a notification and whack it off within 2 seconds.
What is your conversion rate from interest to people converting into paid clients then, Rachel, using that approach?
I'd say a third of the clients, but each one is booking in for about £500 worth of treatments.
That's good. That's a good.
So they're booking in, and then I have quite a lot booking in, and then others are like, oh, we can't quite get in. It's like an urgency, a time limit thing. There's only 20 spaces at this amount. So I create that urgency. So they're like, I need to get in quick. So, oh, okay, I'll open up a spot for you. I'll do it manually, etc. And yeah, prior to using this method, I think conversion was about 1%. I was scrabbling around for work. I was constantly posting Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., etc. And they are cold leads, so they didn't convert at all because they're quite offended why you contacted me. But you've got to kind of like get around the algorithms as well, so you don't get classed as spam when you responded to people. So you got to try and have a bit of originality and different photos, mix it up a bit, different stories, different reels, because the more they're posting your content and then you get responses, they'll show you more of people who are looking for what you do.
Thank you. Can I take questions? Obviously, there's going to be some questions. Kim, I bet you are aching to ask a question. I could see you writing loads of notes down there. What's your question, Kim?
Well, I've been writing sort of observations rather than questions, really. I think you really switched on with the marketing, Rachel. Super impressed. And I was just looking at, because I don't have clipboard on mine, I have notes. So, but it's, so I was looking at that thinking, does that have the same principle? And it does actually. So
Yeah.
I've made myself a new note folder called Synergy Info, and then like health check first email. Yeah, question. Let me think. Oh.
I've got one while Kim is thinking, if
Go
that's
for it,
okay.
Mel. Yes, go for it.
I'm just wondering what your thoughts are, all of you, on this, because one of the things that I've stumbled, not just me, but I've heard sort of training companies that I've consulted for as well have said that, thinking about sort of my line of work in particular, very often in organizations, the training and development budget is generally the budget that, there are exceptions to the rule, but generally the budget that gets kind of put to the bottom of the pile, because there's all these other things that need to be paid for and so forth. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on, like, Rachel, for your business, for example, do you think it's fair to say that you have got much more chance of converting sales, what getting people interested in the first place, because of the nature of what you do, and the fact that so many women, you know, myself included, are unhappy with this, unhappy with that, you know, they want to change this, that, and the other. Whereas when I am speaking to people about, and I come up against this time and time again, nobody's really interested in leadership work, you know, leadership support, coaching, mentoring, that sort of thing. But if it's something like what you're doing, Rach, then you maybe have a lot more interest, you know, right from the start when you're creating these posts and things. Does that make sense? And would you agree with that?
To a very big degree, I do agree with that, because you've got to find your market wherever they are. Every one of us have got a market, otherwise we wouldn't work. The difference for me is when I was doing it myself, I would, for example, if I paid for a post to reach 1,000 people, 997 of those were not interested in what I'm doing. So it was just futile. There was no point. I engaged a marketing person who knows how to get people who are already interested in what you're doing and channeling my content to them. So it looks like I'm uber successful in doing that. No, when a lady sat on a computer going like, oh, I'm fed up with my wrinkles, my marketing company put my information under her nose. So I'd say that's the vital step, is the marketing, because you have got people who are interested. It's just you're not reaching the ones that you need to. But the marketing companies have got the experience of finding that core. Then over to you. Then you convert them. Then you contact them with your expertise. And then they're thinking, right, she's the best in the field, I'll go with her. So I invest heavily in that initial marketing campaign, because I've done years and years and years of hitting that 3% out of 1,000 and not getting anywhere. Enough trickling through. but my business turned from zero to hero. I couldn't afford them to do the follow-up for me, so I have halved or at least quartered my marketing bill, but it's £350 a month, and then Facebook ad spend. But I could get one client in, that's £375. That's their money already, and I've got a month of that. So you have to put your information in front of the people who are looking for what you do. And sometimes, unless you do a marketing degree, it's finding those people. You may need a bit of help with the marketing, and then you do the conversion because you know what you're talking about, and then you'll sound expertise.
I think what's very different between what you do though, Rachel, and what the question Mel asked you. So when you look at where Rachel is at, Rachel is solving problems, yeah? And people will pay to have their problem solved, you know, whether it's, you know, taking away wrinkles or fat on the belly or whatever, but she's actually providing solutions to something that somebody is desperate to get that solution for. But people do not have a problem with leadership. People don't have a problem with leadership. Yeah? People don't have a problem with management. So you've got to look for what is the problem that you're solving that people will pay to have that problem solved. Because if they have a problem, it's probably costing them money. So again, what are you actually solving that's going to save them money? So, you know, are you tackling absenteeism? Are you tackling stress at work? Are you tackling perhaps a bullying issue or what? So it's really looking at the problems and then looking at, okay, what are your solutions? And, you know, so I'm looking at the market. Probably Facebook isn't for you. It's going to be LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it's really looking at that LinkedIn profile like Rachel showed us, yeah, and developing this super slick profile. Then, you know, having that website in place where they can go directly to a blog that's on that topic and really making sure you've done this customer journey mapping out of, if I've got a problem with absenteeism, is Mel my person? Does her profile say that? And can I go to a blog that says that? Can I go to a website that says that? Can I go to case studies that show she's worked in that market before? So I think it's a really interesting exercise of joining up the dots. And, you know, and Rachel has worked so hard in this with regards to doing that thinking strategy of making sure she knows exactly what people's problems are. And when she's replying to their questions, in those answers, it's all nailed down in photographs, case studies. They can go to your website, they can go to all sorts of places that shows you as being the person that can solve that problem for them. So I think it's a bigger, you know, a bigger arena there. We've got to 11:56. Is there a last question somebody would like to ask before we move into what have you got out of this session and how will you put it to work? Shall we go to what have you learned out of talking about it, Rachel, and how will you put this to work, whatever you've come up with?
How passionate I was about helping people save time, you know, and it's a work-life balance that can come into question, which is equally as important as doing the work itself. Streamlining your processes to get them down pat, off the cuff, gone, is important for whatever business you have.
Fantastic. And Lynn, what about you? What have you learned from this? How might you put it into practice?
I picked up from Kim about doing talks in the community, so I thought that was great. That's something I can certainly look at doing. But no, I thought it was really good what Rachel does with the clipboard and, like you say, the frequently asked questions, because we do get a lot. However, I was a bit like the same as Mel in that people don't realise they've got a problem until it actually happens. For me, if that makes sense. I had a comment last week from an accountant I went to meet. He wanted wills and LPAs and whatnot. And he said, the thing is, Lynn, he said, I do talk to clients about you. He said, but they don't see a monetary value, because they see 2 or 3 pieces of paper. It's not something that's, do you know what I mean, that they feel they're getting good value for when they're spending all these hundreds of pounds. So I kind of got where he was coming from, because with Rachel, you will see that success. And people, as you said, they do want, you know, these procedures done to look and feel better. Whereas having a piece of paper that you're going to put in a drawer isn't really going to make you look or feel any better, if that makes sense.
I completely disagree with you, Lynn. I think if you did an exercise where you wrote down all the benefits of having a will, or how people have gone so wrong because they haven't got a will, or the LPA, what would happen if they don't have an LPA, how much it's going to cost them in real terms, perhaps that's an exercise you need to do, and then
you need
it'll almost be a
get it down.
yeah, you know, get it down. Perhaps invite a load of friends around for a coffee and a bacon sandwich and say, okay, give me all the reasons why people should have these things, and let your friends do all the hard work for you. But, you know, you've got to know the benefits, in order to scare people, really, and saying, did you realize, you know, this could happen if you don't have it?
Yeah. These are kind of like,
I didn't like to do that. I was a bit like, oh, no, I don't want people thinking, oh, she's just saying that.
Create the need. Create the need, create the fear to create the need to get it done.
These are solutions for when you get the deluge, once you've got those pain points and your clients coming to you, then this is how you deal with them all and still get it, and the time-saving way of dealing with them. Kind of, I've already got to that stage, and then, as you say, worked hard at it. Now it's paying off. Once that's in the bag, you'll need these systems to kind of like keep up with it. Yeah.
And I think the marketing tip is fab as well. You need to get better at marketing, whether it's to outsource it. It clearly can't be me. But it sounds like you've done amazing since you invested more in the marketing side of things.
So I could maybe spend £1,200 a month on marketing. Now, I know that sounds a lot, and sometimes I was paying £10 a go, £10 a lead to build up. But at the minute, it could be six odd £1,000 a month they're bringing in. So, and that's doing a lot myself, but they're going to people who are looking for what I'm doing, and they're giving me they're almost giving me their bank details and saying, right, book me in. But you need to figure out those points before you get to that. This is how to manage it once you've got there.
So Lynn, it might be worthwhile speaking to Rachel off screen, and because I'm sure this company would look for other customers who have different needs as well, not only within the beauty industry. So it'd be well worthwhile having a conversation with Rachel.
Yeah.
But remembering, you know, in the story brand book, they say when people feel the pain, then they're more likely to buy as well. There's got to be an emotion in it, which is why people are going to part with their money. You know, if people are, all they're thinking is a piece of paper, it's not, a will isn't just a piece of paper, an LPA isn't just a piece of paper. You know, there will be pain if they don't have it in some way, shape or form at some stage in their life. So, and unless you tell them, they won't know.
Yeah.
You're the expert in it. So coming to you then, Mel, what have you got from this morning? How are you going to put it to work?
This has actually been quite a sort of light bulb for me this morning. So thank you, Rachel, darling. You're absolutely amazing. And I think the biggest thing for me, so there's the practical things like kind of getting a social media presence set up and starting to kind of connect with people that way, through sharing my stories and experiences. In terms of, you know, that the really interesting thing is, you know, when you said, Cheryl, as well, that it gave me a prompt to think, yeah, I need to get more specific in what problem I can solve, because the reality is that most leaders and managers, not all, but most of them absolutely don't think they've got any issues at all. You know, they think, some of them think they know everything and they don't need any, you know, kind of help to to become more empathetic or compassionate or whatever it is. Some of them, it's not that they think they know everything, it's just that they're far too busy and bogged down in stuff. And the number of people who I have had come on to training courses that I've delivered, the number of them that have said, we need our senior leadership team to come and talk to you. Because, but again, thinking about it, what these people have actually come for is perhaps problem solving and decision making, or performance management. So perhaps they've come for something like that, and then off the back of that, I do a mail and I go off and, you know, kind of introduce my own things. And it's that stuff that they go, oh my God, yeah, this is the, you know, and it's very often not the rocket science that people think it is. Or using, you know, all these models and things, which are very useful, but it's the stuff underneath that. So maybe to get people to buy into recognizing they need the stuff that's underneath that, maybe I need to go in with another specific area that I am dealing with first. So that is my massive takeaway from this now. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Know that problem you're solving that's causing them pain, because if it's causing them pain, it's costing them money, and that's what's going to talk to them. But I think as well, Mel, this proves again, if this was your client, you could go back into the company and talk to the senior management team and say, this is the feedback that I've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they've come on I can remember going into one hospital I was delivering a program in, and it was on customer service. Okay. And when I then had all the staff teams in front of me, the problem wasn't in customer service. It was actually to do with the strategy of the bosses, because they were asking them to do things. Number one, they were illegal, that were breaking the law, that were this, that were that. And I had to go back to the senior management team and say, hey, you've got the problem wrong here. It isn't customer service. There's lack of customer service because you're asking them to do things they're not happy about. These are the reasons why they're not happy about it. And a one-day customer service program turned into about a year's worth working with the company. So it's been really clear about, you know, one piece of work can actually bring lots of pieces of work, but they've got to be your clients. You can't be doing this for somebody else.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, Cheryl, definitely. Yeah, because they're not my clients. So I'm not in a position where I can talk to the senior managers and say, right, you know, this is what we need to be looking at.
Yeah. So we
makes a lot of sense.
Let's pin this down and let's create some introductions for you to get this ball rolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get the ball rolling. It's almost like, let's get the party started. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mel. And over to you, Kim. What have you got from this morning and how will you put it to work?
Well, I think there's so much to be taken, actually. I absolutely love Rachel's mindset. I think our beliefs comes to mind. So like, I was just thinking about my limiting beliefs of, you know, oh, it takes time to take the clients through a learning curve before they're ready to buy. And actually, yes, there are certain clients that are like that you foster the relationships, but then there's equally those other customers that are like looking for that solution and are prepared to make that decision right now.
Yeah.
And Rachel's just got such a positive mindset about it. I was just like, whoa. And then I was thinking about my numbers, because you see, like, so Rachel might have X number of spaces for a client in a week, which is far greater capacity than what I need for my business, which is probably even a greater capacity for what you need. I mean, you probably don't need 20 or 50 clients in 1 week or whatever. You know, your space management of what you're doing is different. So like looking at, you know, well, what's my capacity? What am I actually working towards? Which is not the same as what Rachel's working towards. Because when I know what I'm working towards, then underpinning that will be then the social media or the email or the you know, the drive towards my personal capacity, which is not the same as Rachel's capacity. It's different. Everybody's different. So with that in mind, I thought, right, okay, I'm coming to the end of Q2 in my business. My business kind of runs in quarters and then within months of the quarter. And we're closing out Q2 really well. So come for next Monday, we'll be starting right into Q3 and Q4, which will set a tone for the last 6 months of the year. So I literally looked at my diary, thought, right, 5th of July, I've got no appointments in. I've penciled that out as a marketing strategy day for the next 6 months to really get that clarity on, you know, what do I want to achieve by the end of this 6 months? What's my marketing going to look like? How many customers is my capacity? And so on and so forth. Because I'm just so inspired by what Rachel's come out with. I'm like, right, I'm going to come out with a plan that will work for me.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Such an incredible approach. And it's really important you know these numbers. What are these converted numbers? I can remember going into a washing machine factory, and it was a really elite washing machine. And so I was there working with the senior team, and we had the marketing team saying, yeah, this is our strategy. We're going to do this, 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 and this. And I looked at the manufacturing guys because I'd had a meeting with them privately. And I said, do you want to speak to this marketing team? And they said, yeah, we can't make that amount of machines. Why are you doing all that marketing? We can only make this amount of machines. So why are you doing the marketing for that? We just won't have the capacity. So it's, again, being really clear about when you're putting these campaigns out, do you have the capacity to convert those? Yeah. So you could be doing a lot of marketing, putting out a lot of, you know, whether it's Facebook advertising or whatever advertising, but do you have the capacity to convert, and can you onboard? So I can only onboard one new member a week. I don't want to be onboarding 2 new members a week because I know how much work goes into it. So it's been really clear about, you know, all of that, you know, what are you aiming for as far as capacity, and then start looking at what is going to be the easiest way to market that in order to hit that capacity. With me, it's relationship marketing. You'll notice a lot of people who come through via I Am Woman. So say, for example, if you were to look at each and every one of you, Mel, you came through via us doing a TED Talk together, yeah? So Kim came through because I actually spoke to her daughter first, who then referred her mum. Rachel, we met because we were at another networking event and her car was running down the road with nobody in it. And I said, who's that car? Because there isn't a driver in it. And that was Rachel. I mean, I've been best mates ever since. And Lynn, how did you get to I Am Woman?
I think it was through the financial advisor, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, through Beth.
Beth, yeah, I haven't seen it for ages.
So that's a case in point. I know my marketing approach. It's going to be via relationship marketing. So get very clear about how am I going to get to my potential customers? What campaign is going to be working best for me? For me, it would be better for me to go through all my old members and start warming them up to come back as speakers, come back to do I Am Woman hours for us, and then come back as members. That's really my approach. I wouldn't be going out doing Facebook advertising. So just be very clear about what your approach is going to be. So thank you, Rachel, for this morning. Can we put our hands together for Rachel? Well done. And thank you, everyone. And look forward to seeing you this time next week for our next I'm Woman Hour. Have a great week. Bye now.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.